change tomorrow.
Unity.
I think this is a new twist on hip-hop politics coming through in the song. You can't have a political movement without political music. It's just never happened. You go back to the labor movement, civil rights movement, women's rights movement. You always have musicians and artists step up because a revolution is a change of heart first before anything else changes in law, in politics, in government, in the economy. The first change has to be in the human heart, and that's what art does. Art moves you. Music moves you. And I'm just so proud that Lil Baby is using his platform to move this whole country forward and to move this cause forward. All right, my girl Jamel Hill is going to take over for me. She gets the honor. I'm kind of jealous, but she gets the honor of talking to and interviewing the great Killer Mike. He is an author. He's an actor. He's an activist. He's a musician. He's a living legend. Listen to Killer Mike.
No me lo creo.
I hope everybody out there has just been taking copious notes, gaining a lot of knowledge, taking some screenshots, because there's just been a lot of really good nuggets that have been shared. Hope you're inviting all your friends in and really having the kind of conversation in this country I certainly have not seen in my lifetime. And I'm curious to hear the thoughts of my guest right now, Killer Mike. You know, Mike, we've been at this moment many times in our country where tragedy has struck. About this issue in particular, we've seen these videos before, but right now it feels like the world is just changing right before our very eyes. I can kind of imagine how some of our, you know, our elders felt during the civil rights movement to see the world just changing right before our eyes. So you're there in Atlanta, where certainly there was a recent incident with Rashard Brooks. We've been absorbing everything that's been happening in the country up until this moment. So how are you kind of handling all of this emotionally right now?
Man, as an American, it's hard because it's just it's a growing pain of sorts. You know what I mean? We know that our country is progressing. We know that on the other side of that progression, that we all are going to be better. I think our community and people. Who are essentially descendants of the cornerstone of this nation. And the cornerstone of this nation is the Constitution is important, the Founding Fathers is important, but free labor allowed all that. And as the descendant of a slave, and when I say descendant, I don't mean anything wrong. My great-grandmother taught me how to sew a button on a shirt as she was sewing blankets that we still use in my house. Her mother was born enslaved. So that's how close slavery is. I know how to sew a button because a slave taught her child to, and that child taught me to. That's how close. So I think that I'm excited that progress is happening, but I know on the other side of that progression, Breonna, Mr. Floyd, brother that was killed here, there are martyrs, and we've long been martyrs for the progression of this country, and I hope that as we enter into another martyrdom, another black person has died at the hands of the state. I hope that we enter this coming out determined to see justice on the front end, and not only when we're angry. I hope that coming out of this, the young people that are in the streets organizing, continue to organize in the time of peace like they are in time of war, because they're organizing effectively. They're causing systemic change in the immediate and not some protracted campaign. And I support that. And plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. And as long as you keep doing that, you're going to capitalize off the gains that you're making. And I appreciate it. And I don't mean capitalize in a monetary way. I mean, these kids are capitalizing, progressing. Organizers on the ground level who've been working for years to campaign around police brutality and violence have in an instant been able to organize people to progress law.
Yeah, it's been a lot of impressive moments. I mean, you mentioned about how the young people, they're so organized, because I think about the progression from, say, Ferguson to now, and it's been pretty outstanding when you think about it. What has impressed you the most about what you're seeing right now?
What has impressed me? That in '92, we rioted in Atlanta. There were riots in other cities. There were riots in Los Angeles. But there was such a stronghold on information. Local news wouldn't let what other cities know until after it was over. What's impressed me is the ability to use technology. We haven't gotten as efficient as Hong Kong, but it's coming. you are seeing at a day and age where in an instant people are able to mob on a place, people are able to say what needs to be said and go and get ghosts. You're seeing in an instant what our grandparents were able to do. Like we have a house party app in which people can sit down on that house party app. You can organize with those 8 people to know what are we going to do in school, what are we going to do in local school boards, what are we going to do with city council. Our grandparents used to have to do that in the basement. Now you're able to do it over your phones and organize effectively and immediately. So I'm impressed by the level of organization I've seen. Because when I was an organizer at 15, 16 years old, we'd have to literally meet for 30 days to plan something that you might strike that might be 3 hours or even 30 minutes. But you're constantly there. These kids are able to do it, and these young people and these organizers are able to do it in a blink of an eye. But that only happens when you train like Floyd Mayweather. Organizers are like Mayweather. They never not train, and I think that these are the people, again, that we should be looking at.
Mario? Michael?
Translation. But I'm still over there tweeting with the angry moms and dads. Shouts out to the old folks.
I think about where activism was on this issue in particular when Ferguson happened, and looking at it now, and it's there was definitely
the motherfucker
Ferguson, particularly the Black Lives Matter movement. Seeing the level and the difference is that clearly there was a lot of lessons learned there. And they've applied them now. And so it definitely seems much more cohesive, and that's been impressive. What has impressed you about what you're seeing, especially from these young people who really have seemed to seize this moment?
What I've seen be most beautiful about this time is kids have the ability to adjust and move and be like water. They're truly plotting, planning, strategizing, organizing, mobilizing. The skateboard kids came in. Usually you would see in the 60s, Black people look like me. We'd make public protests. We'd get our heads split open. Sympathetic whites and allies and people who truly believe in freedom, justice, and equality entered the stage. Now, not only are you beating Black people, you're dragging off white people. And it became a tapestry, a unified front to give us our most basic civil rights and acknowledge our human rights. That tapestry is happening again, and it's happening in a bigger and better way. I was talking about those skateboard kids. I saw those kids first come in as defenders. When police were hacking with people with batons, they held up the skateboards to protect them. Most kids who skateboard, my kids skateboarders, most skateboard kids in the South don't look like me, right? But I saw the skateboard community literally come in and save protesters from beatings, and then they got really frisky and they started attacking back. And I was like, although I don't want violence in the streets because those kids deserve to grow to be adults without being soldiers against the state that their parents pay taxes to. It impressed me that the proletariat showed government that you work for us. And in this moment, we are exercising our right to make public display of the evil that has happened. It makes me proud that I live in a country that has long promised equality, rarely given it to people who look like me. People who don't look like me defended.
You made an interesting note and observation about the skateboard crew. And I think anybody who's watching has noticed that it's not just Black people who are out here protesting.
No, it's not. It's a tapestry of people.
It's a tapestry of people.
The Amish. The Amish.
Yes. Wasn't that crazy?
I didn't even know the Amish saw the news.
I was thinking, who told them? Right? I was like, I didn't find out. Right?
I was so impressed, though. I was so thankful. My heart was filled with joy.
Yeah, so you're seeing all these different types of people that you never thought this issue would resonate with them. It kind of reminds me of your music. Your music is unapologetically pro-Black. Unapologetically, yes, right?
Absolutely.
But yet, when you look at a Killer Mike fan, it's across multicultural section of people. Yes. Why do you think your music is able to resonate that way, despite the fact that you are also clearly talking to your people?
Yeah, I'm proud to be me. I like me. I like Black people. I'm not making no excuses. I'm not making no apologies.
Sí, estoy grabando. La verdad es que sí.
These guys have always just been good to me. Raj went to India, he came back, brought my wife in.
No le tengo sensación. Mira una tía, ¿vale? Ay, no puedo. Mándame Sony. Mándame Sony. Mándame Sony. Mándame Sony tú. Ahora te lo acepto. Y me van a tu grupo.
Juan, es que eres retrasado.
Calla, aquí pelean no. Ya aquí Juan Palister también es mi amigo.
Miren YouTube, por ejemplo.
Es que Juan Palister 18 también es mi amigo.
¿Por qué no tienes ayuda de tiro con tus amigos?
I didn't say equal. I said great. I'm from a great and mighty people. And if you can't accept that, then maybe I'm not for you. But I believe that because I am simply who I am.
Oye,
I believe that
¿sabes que Juan Palister es mi amigo, no? Ya. Rata, anda Juan Palister.
We're on there and watching swamp people, and everybody's laughing.
La rata de Juan Palister.
And I look at it and I start smiling and I look at the room and say, I got more in common with them than
Invítame,
y'all.
Canato.
I just walk to the back. Now,
Invítame.
Because it's the truth. I'm a southern boy. My grandparents from Alabama.
Invítame, ¿no?
I grew up more like people on those shows. So I think across cultural lines, across racial lines, people identify with me just because I'm your typical American guy.
Que Juan Palister es una puta mierda de persona, digo nada.
Smart kid, went to Morehouse, had an understanding of some cool stuff.
Vale, nadie te preguntó.
That helps, you know. But I think that
Canaco,
ultimately what
invítame.
resonates with people is that I'm a regular guy. One of my best friends in the world is a white guy from Brooklyn. So I think that people understand that I have the ability not to look past your race or ethnicity, not to look past who you are culturally, but to look at it.
Tío, no.
What you're talking about in a very robust way is really allyship, and that's been a word that, you have a lot. It sounds like you have a lot of really great allies that are in your life. Now in this moment, I've gotten the question constantly. I assume you have too about how to be an ally. What do I have to do? I've had so many conversations with white people, like really good friends of mine, in the last 2 weeks. So I appreciate your enthusiasm, but
Canaco, no me invites, no me invites.
But
vale, ahora tengo ayuda de amigos.
Is that
Ponte en modo
what would you
conectado.
say to somebody who
Pues
wants
me
to
Ponte en modo
not be an ally, but be a
apuntar a
pongo
jugadores que
conectado.
tenían agresores y tenía que con todos.
Desconectado, está desconectado, Canaco, lo tienes en desactivado. No, que el Juan Palister no se cae la boca, tío. Tío, sabes que lo tienes en desactivado y no puedo, y me aparece como si estuvieras desconectado.
Amparo, ¿sabes una cosa? Es que el Canaco no te escucha, es que tienes unos micros de mierda.
Tío, Canaco, ¿me quieres invitar? Ah, no, que se ha ido GTA, qué bien. ¡Oh, qué bien! Me voy. Invitarme, porfa. No os importa que... Una cosa, no os importa que juegue en tecla y ratón, ¿verdad? Eso ya lo veremos.